We're here. We're live. We're awake. Almost properly. Oh, yes. Can't forget the coffee. This is a Sports Morning Espresso Shot, after all. Welcome back to Game On. I'm your host, Will. Ready to bring you the latest and greatest going on in the sports world. It's the most professional, on-time, non-clickbait sports show on the internet, of course. Of course. Always on time. Just like today. Cheers, everyone. Oh, that smells good. I like that, Patriot. Hit the follow button. It's way more productive than the snooze button. Yeah, accidentally. I didn't realize I hit it a couple extra times, and I looked at the clock, and I go, "Huh. Well, I'll be darned. I'll be darned. How we doing today, everyone? Happy Thursday. It's my Friday. Let's go. What up, Jake Clay? What up, Grass Guy? Jamie's in the house. How we doing? How we doing? Here's what we got on the menu today. We're going to go dive back into the Commanders here in a little bit. Got my Commanders jersey on. Chase Young. How about that? Good morning, Leslie. So here's what we're gonna do. We got some interesting things going on, but we'll dive back into the Commanders. Finish up our preview of them. We have a baseball trade deadline coming up. We can look at some buyers and sellers. Some teams are in interesting spots. Including some Texas teams. You got Houston, who should be buyers. Typically don't do that, though, but you never know. And then you got the Rangers that are in an interesting spot now. You know what I mean? They started winning again. And it's like, okay, are you going to make some moves or not? I said Redskins. I think you just misheard me. Good morning, bums. You guys are so nice to each other this morning. So nice to each other. All that and what else? We'll recap baseball and everything else. I'm just waking up right now, as you guys can tell. Uncle Joe Bob, Lions fan, over on the YouTube side, Commanders built to win. Fake news. I mean, that's what they'll have you believe in. 12 wins last year. NFC Championship game. Made moves this offseason, to beef up the offensive line, getting Laramie Tunsil, bringing in what's his name from San Francisco? Why can't I think it was Debo? I'm just saying, they're going for it, man. But it might all be a fugazi.
It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
No, fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi. It's a woozy. It's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
It might be a fugazi. So we'll talk about that too. Redskins won't make the playoffs. I don't think so either. I think they're going under their 9.5 wins. They're favored. We'll get into this, but they're favored in 12 of their games this year. But their win total's at 9.5. What does that tell you that Vegas thinks, huh? What does that tell you about what Vegas thinks of the Redskins?
You serious?
Thank you, Ms. Leslie, for liking the video, reposting it, and on X. And all you guys do the same. We're almost there. Where are we at now? Let me check. Oh my gosh. I know yesterday we were getting close. Oh baby, we crossed 9,600. We're at 9,615. That's all thanks to you guys. Going up, hanging out with Chad every day, reposting the video. It makes a difference, man. It makes a difference. I kid you not. We were on a roll this week, though. They'll win if they change the name back. True. True. Oh, yeah. That coffee's good. Drinking that Ranger Up coffee this morning. We got a lot of activity over on the kick side. Let's see what they're telling me. Tired of streaming at 0? Let's change that. Okay. This guy says, hey, not trying to promote anything, just wanted to share what's worked for me. I've made over 20K in a few months. Wow. Odds Jam. It helps. This is actually one not to promote your stuff, but to actually get you sports bets. Wow, this one's actually different. Targeted to the channel, the stuff we actually talk about. That's impressive. Odds gaps. Wow. It's not luck. It's math and strategy. I started small and scaled up once I got the hang of it. Okay. Okay. Maybe we'll go check that out. Probably not, but I appreciate you being here. Okay, let's see. What are we gonna dive into first? What happened yesterday? What happened? Let's just go to the old Twitter timeline. Like I said, I'm always prepared. Most professional, on-time, non-clickbait sports show on the internet, of course. Hey, this is good news. Shout out to my guy, Kyle Williams. He a Coug. He a rookie wide receiver for the Patriots. He's been an early standout at training camp. Has already developed strong chemistry with Drake May. Only a couple days in camp, and he's already got that strong chemistry. This is how you know it's July, baby. We're talking about strong chemistry and training camps. The season just get here already. The value on the Redskins not to make the playoffs is at plus 110. Yeah, you're better off just betting under the 9.5 wins, I think. Okay, I saw this. You guys have to look at this. I saw this. I laughed way too hard at this yesterday. So it's a Gatorade ad, and it's a picture of a bunch of WNBA women, some of their stars, right? All lined up together, and it's a Gatorade ad, and it says, "Let her cook." I think for once, Gatorade and I are in agreement here. Get those women in the kitchen and let them cook. I laughed way too hard at that yesterday. It put a big old smile on my face. I was showing the missing tooth real hard. Oh, that's funny. They didn't think that one through. They did not think that one through. Oh, yeah. What else is going on? Oh, man. Let me show you this. The Browns are so back. Atta baby. What up, Eric? He reposted the stream. That's what I like to hear. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while. I know you're itching for some football. I can't wait to bet first touchdown score week 1. Nevada Mavericks says, yeah, make me a sandwich. That's right. Ironically, not one of them could do a damn grilled cheese. That's probably true. They don't know how to make a dad. I bet Eric, I bet you had some good practice and you make a real mean grilled cheese. Good morning, sir. Blue's in the house. What up, Blue? What up? Okay, the Browns are back, baby. They revealed their new helmets. Yesterday, and they made a splash with these new helmets. Check it out. What? Only the Browns. Look at those dude wipes. That's actually smart of dude wipes. Team up with the Browns. Makes sense. Here's another perspective. This is the cameraman's perspective of it. Okay, we gotta turn that volume down. How you feeling if you're that guy, huh? Oh yes, Patriot. Field goal props and halftime ties. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And we get the Cowboys to start the season off, so you know we're gonna have an easy winner in that one. Aubrey over 1.5. Lock it in. Oh, Henry Ford's back this morning talking about the Jews. How you doing, buddy? Good morning. And the aliens. And the aliens. Congratulations to Bryce Harper. Check this out. His 350th home run.
Harper.
Ooh, baby. He got all of that one, too. Got all of that one. Poor, if you were a Phillies first five better yesterday, I feel terrible for you. We'll get into it, but I feel terrible for you. What up, Bong Time? Bong Time's back. Everyone's here this morning. Love it. I'm a Mets fan. That's why I became anti-Semitic. Being a Mets fan, I'm sure you've gone to some dark places. Very dark. Very dark places. I feel for you too. Henry Ford, I feel for you too. The Dodgers. What is going on, man? They're just falling apart. They've lost, well, until yesterday, they lost like 11 in the last 14. They're just a mess. They don't look like a professional baseball team, especially not the defending World Series champs, especially not the biggest payroll in baseball. This is like Little League stuff. Oh, okay. He's trying to get too cool for school, man. Too cool for school. He bare hands it. Look at that. He bare hands it. Thinks he's cool. Can't make the throw. You're going to barehand it. Listen, if you're going to barehand it like that, you got to make the throw. There it is. There it is, Bunk Time. Roman games of the past keep you sheep distracted and your tiny minds entertained. It's been a while since we've had that. Been a while. Sophie Cunningham, the goon for the fever that protects Caitlin Clark, was fined a whopping $500, which in WNBA salary, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for this TikTok.
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
She's talking, and she said at some refs. So she's criticizing the refs.
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
I mean, that's pretty tame. You know what I mean? And she's not doing it at the facility. It's a joke. It's a TikTok. She's doing it in a hotel room. But the WNBA came and cracked down on her and fined her $500. How silly. How silly. Uh-oh. Grass guy. Dropping the mommy milkers.
You got some tickle bitties and you don't know how to swing? Well, I'm here to help you. Next, you want to tuck your right arm and lay your left arm on top of that mommy milker. Bombs away?
Bombs away indeed. I'm so glad. I was kind of upset, but I'm so glad we got rid of our coach at Washington State. We brought in a real coach. Our coach that left us for Wake Forest came out this week. Says he soaks his burgers in Sprite before grilling. What? He soaks his burgers in Sprite before grilling. What are we doing? Just salt and pepper those things and throw them on there like a normal person. What do we do? Sprite? Has anyone done that? Anyone else out there do that? Seems a little odd to me. I know Patriot doesn't. Jamie says, will you be doing any shows with cricket this NFL college football season? I'm sure we'll do a couple. We don't have anything planned, but I'm sure we'll team up and do a couple. His boys are down right now, so I haven't reached out for any shows or anything like that, or to talk to him about it, because I'm just letting him enjoy his time. I know he's a very busy man with his boys visiting for the summer, but I believe they go back here at the beginning of August. Sprite banished, says Patriot. That's right. That's right. What happened to Steps? I don't know. Let me text him right now. He usually is like, hey, I'm coming on this time. Let's text him right now. He's been crushing baseball, though, as always. Where you at? Chat misses you. I miss you. I'll even throw that in there. Boom. We'll see what he says. Oh, I've been working, man. Been really busy. Man. You know, I had 6 whole weeks off of work. Crickspicks do tend to be a little scattergun, but he seems to know college football quite well. Yeah, he knows college football really well. Yeah, Crick is a very streaky, which is good if you know that about him. He's very streaky. It's either, he'll go on a little winning streak and have great days, and then it's just terrible days. He owns it, though. He owns it. He owns it. Did you hear this rumor? I saw Colin Cowherd talking about it on the show yesterday. Apparently the Browns, which we know aren't going to be good this year, might be tanking this year because the rumor is. So there came a rumor out a couple weeks ago that, God, who was it? It was a media guy, a football guy. Oh, who was it? Said he's heard that. It might not even be a media guy. I can't remember. Anyways, a credible source came out and said he's been hearing Nick Saban ain't long for this media stuff, that Nick Saban's itching to get back into coaching. I thought that meant going back to college football. Apparently, it means him and the Browns. Nick Saban might become the next head coach of the Browns. The Browns might be targeting Arch Manning. That would be interesting. Now, if I was Nick Saban and the Browns came to me and said, hey, we got this plan. We're a very, very well-run, competent organization, of course. We're going to bring you in and we're going to go get Arch Manning. No guarantees, but, that's our plan. If I was Nick Saban, I'd be like,
My fucking hat.
Damn, actually.
tell him get out of here with that shit. Get out of here with that. You're the Browns. No one trusts you, No one trusts you. You're the Browns. Check this out. This ends up being a home run from Rafael Devers. Watch this.
Nothing. Gets a spinny slider and just puts some great backspin on a one-hander. Like, no.
Did you see how low my man got? Watch this. That's like a golf ball swing, And that thing ekes it out over the fence. Just makes it look easy. One more time. Look at this. Gets low. And just barely gets out of there. That's some power in those big old legs of his. That's some power. Grass guy. New York Giants are in peak form to start the season. Jackson Dart's first official NFL training camp pass. Touchdown. Watch. Watch. Here we go. Oh, pick six. The Giants are in peak form, Grass Guy. They're getting you ready. They're getting you ready, man. They're getting you ready for the season. That was bad, man. He hesitated. Look at that. Hung on to the ball. Hung on to the ball way too long. Oh. Hate to see it. That happens a lot. Yeah. You know what I love? I love seeing, and it's another reason why it's July. I love seeing all the stats posted. Like quarterback went 9 of 11 in 11 on 11 drills. Quarterback went 8 of 9. Quarterback went 10 of 11 or whatever in practice today. He's dialed in, and I'm like, he's a professional athlete, and it's 11 on 11 in training camp. I would hope he completes almost 80% or over 80% of his passes. That's what should happen in practice. You're a professional. You're not even tackling. Oh, there was a terrible one. I didn't even retweet it, but Quentin Johnson, man, that dude has got to figure it out. He had one that hit him right in the chest, dropped it. He's in peak midseason form already. Sporting says, have to go. Everyone have a good day. My knee surgery's tomorrow. Won't be around for a bit. Oh, man. Well, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hope you have a good day, and I hope surgery is a success and you have a quick recovery, man. That's no fun. That is no fun. Coach Prime hanging out at Tampa Bay mini camp. I love that he's just decked out in Colorado gear still. Love it. Love it. But he's out there supporting his son. Was it Shiloh? Yeah. Scary Terry McLaurin still has not showed up to the Redskins training camp. So they placed him officially on the reserve / did not report list. I'm telling you guys, if he holds out and misses all the training camp, and then eventually gets a deal done at the end of August, we're gonna have to bet under. Just the rule. You have to bet under on his props for the season. Texans placed running back Joe Mixon on the non-football injury list. I don't know what's going on there, but they say he's fine. He'll be ready to go for the season. It's what's being reported, but this is a scary time of the year because we all want football. Everyone's excited for football. Players excited for football. Coaches excited for football. And we're going to have some unfortunate injuries to some key players for some teams. So be ready. Be ready. Hold on one second. Yeah, anyway, I was tired today. It's my Friday, though. Thank God, right? Bengals head coach Zach Taylor says Joe Burrow will play more this preseason than ever before as the team looks to start the season off faster than in years past. Joe has been unfortunate in his career. A lot of it's been due to injuries. Remember, he had that weird thumb thing where he had to miss like all the training camp. He usually doesn't do training camp. So if he can stay healthy and make it through training camp, that'd be huge for him. That'd be huge. Hit the like button and follow. I need to hit 10K before the preseason game. That would be awesome. We have until the 31st to get that done. That would be awesome. We'll have a big old streaming party. We've already got ideas of what we're going to do for that stream. That'd be exciting.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
I just wanted to play that. I saw it and I wanted to play it. Football's back. Thinking out of news in sports world. Let's see what ESPN has. The latest news and buzz from all 32 NFL training camp teams. Let's see some headlines. Packers received $432 million in revenue sharing. That's a lot of money. What are we talking about? 18 years ago, when Mark Murphy gave his first financial report after taking over as president of the Packers, the NFL revenue sharing was $138 per team. On Wednesdays, just days before Murphy retires, hands over control to incoming president Ed Policy, Packers revealed that their national revenue sharing from the previous fiscal year was $322.6 million. Wow. The league just keeps going up and up and up. Could you imagine getting a check for $322 million? It says, here you go. Oh, and then the other news was ESPN is in talks to buy NFL Sunday Ticket in Red Zone, which would be terrible. Where are they finding the money for this stuff? They spent billions on the NBA. They have to cut ties with the UFC and Major League Baseball because they spent way too much money on the NBA. Now they're like, you know what? We're going to make up for it. We're going to drop $2 billion so we can buy Red Zone and the NFL Network, which means Red Zone is about to get so much more expensive for us. Not great. Not great. Love me a good sandwich. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Me too. Me too. But yeah, that's not good news for us. Not good news for us at all. Look at that. The Colorado Rockies gets their first shutout in 221 games. The Rockies, man, just swept the Tigers again. We're going to talk about that. They just swept the Tigers again. The Rockies on a little winning streak here after the All-Star break. Maybe the Rockies are buyers at the trade deadline. Them and the White Sox. White Sox are one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. Shohei Ohtani has homered in 5 straight games. That guy's crazy. Aggies collie mascot has surgery to remove eye? What? Oh, okay. Okay. It's a dog. Poor doggy. I thought they were talking about like some dude that actually dresses up. Like, that's interesting. But poor dog. Had to get its eye, huh? Speaking of dogs and Job Joe says, something about animals are not pets. That's funny. This is the Ray. What up? I'm here for the Commanders talk. We're about to get into the Commanders talk. We're going to recap baseball and look at today's lines, and then we're going to jump into the Commanders. Going to jump in. Good to see you here. Star Lily's here. The Mendez brothers have the Epstein client list. That's the first I've heard of that. Everyone's got it, man. Everyone's got the list except for Pam Bondi, apparently. Okay. Oh, let's see what happened in baseball yesterday. The Reds shut out the Nationals 5-0. Let's check the betting report. Oh, but look at Action told us sharp action on the National. Oh, this is the total. There was sharp action on under 8.5. It was 5-0. That's sharp action, and there's only 10% of the money on it. That's called a winner. I'm not sure we want money line. But there was big money there on the Reds yesterday, and the big money came through. The Action Hour expert and sharps were wrong, but they were right on the total. Gonna have to get you on my Commander show to argue. Okay. What do you think this is, Ray? Or this is a Ray? What do you think about their season coming up? I got a Commanders jersey on. You have a Commanders show. That's interesting. The Marlins beat the Padres 3-2. There was sharp action on the Marlins yesterday. With only 12% of the money. Funny how those things come through. Giants defeat the Braves 9-3. Giants finally turning it around a little bit. Pirates get a 6-1 victory over the Tigers. What is going on with the Tigers, man? What is going on with the Tigers? Look at this one. This one should have been a no-brainer. There was big money and an Action Network expert on the Tigers at plus 115 to get it done against the Tigers. Or on the Pirates. 32% of the bets, but 81% of the money. That tells you there was massive big bets. That's almost a 50% differential. That's a 49% differential. That is insane. You never see that. That should have been a sign. Yes, we bet. We bet the Pirates, and it won with ease. 6-1 victory there. Mets get a 6-3 victory over the Angels. The Angels were not the right side yesterday. That's gross. That's gross. Royals defeat the Cubbies 8-4. Cubs are in a little bit of a skid right now. And here we say Indians and Redskins. That's right. Oh, you do? You think they're going to have a good season? Okay. Make your argument. Make your argument. We're going to go through Warren Sharp's argument for why to bet under and why to bet over on the Commanders. There's some interesting things about the Commanders that we're going to dive into that I was looking at. I'm telling you, their season last year might have been a little bit of a fugazi.
It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
Fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi. It's a woozy. It's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
Fairy dust. We'll see, though. Astros get a 4-3 victory over the Diamondbacks. Brewers defeat the Mariners 10-2. After a game with only 6 hits the day before, they put up 10 runs the next day. That's crazy. Dodgers defeat the Twinkies 4-3. The Dodgers, man, it was looking bleak, but Freddie Freeman comes through, hits the walk-off single, gets it done for the Dodgers, get the 4-3 win in there. The Indians defeat the Orioles 3-2. Since they won, we call them the Indians. I think they had a magic season with an easy schedule, not just an easy schedule. It was in hindsight, they ended up having the number one easiest schedule. And still have massive gaps in their roster. This year's schedule is brutal. We're going to have to find out what's real for sure. Oh, yes. They did make moves, though. They got Laramie Tunsil, beef up that offensive line. Got Debo Samuel, got a weapon for their young QB. Well, there's one stat about fourth downs, though, that, should make you nervous about last year's fourth downs. I'm just going to tease that. That's what we like to call tease in this business. Dodgers are injured. Dodgers have been injured for 2 months. That's what everyone keeps telling me. Dodgers are injured. Hey, man, you spent like $300-something million on your team. Find a guy that's competent to replace the guy you spent a bunch of money on. You know what I mean? No one feels bad for the Dodgers. But don't worry, they'll get healthy, is what I keep hearing. Red Sox get it done 9-8 in extra innings. If you were a Phillies first 5 better, I feel sorry for you. Phillies were up 5-0, gave up 6 runs in 2 innings for the Red Sox to crush that first 5 bet. That's just brutal. Blue Jays beat the Yankees 8-4. The Yankees on a little bit of a skid too. This is the Ray knows what I'm talking about. See, I think okay, you proved it. You proved to me that you are a Commanders fan because you know the fourth down stat. It definitely is not sustainable. The line has to be insane to compete with Philly, Dallas, and even the Giants D line now. The Giants D line is scary, but don't worry, it's the Giants. They'll find a way to fuck it up. White Sox get 11-9 victory over the Rays. The White Sox put up 11 runs. What are we doing? That is crazy. And the Rangers, don't look now, but the Rangers 2-1 victory over the A's. The Rangers are 3 games above 500. They put themselves in a very interesting spot. Very interesting spot. They're only, I think, a game and a half back out of the wild card now. Yeah, they're only a game and a half back out of the wild card. The Rangers are. Are they going to be buyers at the deadline? We'll see. It's going to get interesting. It's going to get very, very interesting in baseball. Let's head over to today's action report and see what we got going today. Oh, that's why you tagged him to come in here. I appreciate that, Miss Leslie. I appreciate that. Crash Guy says easy. Well, hey, how about you go? How about they go do something? Prove me wrong. You know. Brent, I'm NFLPA certified. Oh, damn, dropping credentials in here. NFLPA certified. I was on the Redskins beat before I moved to was that Florida. I wrote for Redskins.com. I did TV and radio for them. It's not fandom, it's obsession. Dude, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love fandom because fans are crazy. They're obsessed, like you're saying. We're all fanatics for our teams. This is the time of year where we all have hope. Even Grass Guy's in here, a Giants fan, talking himself into, we might be, if we do this, and this, and maybe if everyone else's quarterback breaks their leg, maybe we can make the playoffs. We talk ourselves into all sorts of crazy things. I even got a little excited at the beginning. I'm a Patriots fan. I got a little excited last year before the season. I knew we were going to be bad. I wanted us to be bad. Before the season started, man, I had a little bit of hope. And then they go out and beat the Bengals, and I go, what are we doing? Why are we beating the Bengals, man? We would just not beat the Bengals. We would, would have the number 1 overall pick. But we would have Jalen Carter right now. Not Jalen Carter. Why do I always say Jalen Carter? What's his name? Grass Guy. I can't think of it. Carter went to the Giants, number 3 overall. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we would have that guy. He's not on our team, so I don't even remember his name. Free Malik Neighbors. That's right. That's right. Abdul Carter. There we go. That's what I'm thinking of. Abdul Carter. Grass Guy says I'm just looking for improvement this year. Good thing you got Russell Wilson. Let him cook. Okay, we're going to run through these lines and we'll get into the Commanders. Guardians, Orioles. We got early baseball and the sharp signal. We saw that in live time. The sharp signal just popped up. Guardians, Orioles. Guardians minus 118. Sorry, Indians minus 118. Even money on the Orioles. Sharp money on the Orioles. And 55% of the overall money is back in Cleveland in this one. Back in Cleveland. Blue Jays, Tigers. Tigers heading back home. They're in a little bit of a slump. They're minus 130 favorites today. Blue Jays on a little bit of a streak here, plus 110 on the comeback. Sharp money on the Tigers. Big money. Action Network expert likes the Blue Jays. 58% of the bets, 80% of the money is back in the Blue Jays at plus money. What do they know? What do they know that we don't know? Interesting. Very short slate today. Very short slate. Makeup day, travel day. Padres, Cardinals. Cardinals minus 135. Padres plus 115 on the comeback. Sharp money on the Cardinals. 56% of the overall money is on San Diego. Then we got the A's and the Astros. Stroh's on a little bit of a roll right now. Minus 125 home favorite. The A's plus 110 on the comeback. Sharp money likes the A's today, but big money says no. Take the Astros. 82% of the bets, 92% of the overall money is back in Houston so far. And then the last game, the night game, Mariners and the Angels. Angels minus 125, Mariners plus 110. Big money back in the Angels. They were doing the same thing yesterday. There's big money and sharp money on the Angels. The Angels got their ass kicked. Now they're going to come home and win a game. I don't know, man. But 63% of the bets, 53% of the money is on the Mariners. There you have it. Short day in baseball. Very, very short day in baseball. Blue likes Cardinals in the over. Still can't believe Ron gifted you Christian Gonzalez because these morons thought Chicken Legs McGee was a better pick. Dude, Christian Gonzalez is a stud. That guy's good. I was really happy with that pick, and then he had his rookie season, and I was, Oh, man. Got injured, came back, still looks great. He's going to be good. That was one of our better draft picks. And then this year we go out and draft short-armed. I can't even remember his name. What's his name? The guy from LSU. Remember that there? Everyone at the combine was making fun of his arms. But you know what? If Mike Vrabel wants him, I'm going to trust Mike Vrabel. I will trust Mike Vrabel. Will Campbell. That's who it is. Will Campbell. Old short arm Will Campbell out there. Okay, let's get into this. Where are we at? So we had to cut this off early yesterday. Oh, of course. Hold on. StreamYard, doing StreamYard things, you know. StreamYard doing stream. Cut this off. We were diving into this. This is Warren Sharp's book. If you guys haven't got this, I'm curious. If you get into this, this is the Ray. You ever order this? Check this out. Look at this book. I got the PDF version pulled up here, but Warren Sharp's preview. Look how thick that bad boy is. Ooh, baby. If you're an NFL junkie, this is a must. This is a must. You can get it at Warren Sharp's site. I'm not paid to say that. I'm just here to bring you guys good, solid resources. And I've been very impressed. My first year getting this book, and I've been very, very impressed with this thing. So much so, I haven't even been looking at my college football book. I need to start looking at that again. But we'll go through the top real quick, just real quick, since we got some new faces here that might have missed out on some of this stuff. Let's see. Injected into my veins. That's right. That's right. One of the things that he likes to point out, a lot of people like to look at the schedule and look at strength of schedule. You know, it's all projection at the beginning of the season. Everyone likes to look where the bye week is. But one thing that Warren Sharp points out at the beginning of this book, and then does it for every single one of these teams, is you got to look at rest advantage and rest disadvantage. And this is more so for helping you with if your sport's better. The Commanders, as you can see down here, they have 4 games where they are they have 4 games where they're at a rest disadvantage and 3 games where they're at a rest advantage against their opponents this season. So net they have 1 game rest disadvantage, but 2 of those games that they have a disadvantage, they're facing teams coming off buys, so that's not great. But the good news is, to end the season, it's a pretty brutal stretch after their bye to end the season. They play Denver, Minnesota. They get the Giants, but it's in New York, and then they get Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles. Good news is, to end the season, if they are in contention, they will have, because this might down here at the end here might be for the division title. They will have a 1-day rest advantage against the Cowboys and a 3-day rest advantage against the Eagles to end the season. So if you're going to get your rest advantage, at least it's coming at the end of the season against divisional opponents, where a lot might be on the line for the Commanders here. So that's brief. We went over yesterday. Key players lost, free agents added. Like we talked about, Laramie Tunsil, Deebo Samuel, Javon Kinlaw. Some good moves there. I signed a kicker, Matt Gay. They got themselves a kicker. They drafted an offensive tackle in the first round. So they're trying to fix that offensive line, which you're going to need to do. Okay. And then they just got a bunch of, look at these charts, man. Oh, if you're a data nerd, you're an NFL junkie, you are just in heaven right now looking at these charts. So many charts in this book. We don't go over all of them. I encourage you to go get the book if you want to really deep dive into some of these. But the Commanders, man, it's interesting. The Commanders here, and this is preseason projection, but they're favored in 12 of their games. Yet Vegas has set their win total at 9.5. That should tell you something. And now Jaden Daniels has a chance to do something only 8 quarterbacks have done since the year 2000, which is in his first 2 seasons to lead his team to 9+ wins. Only 8 other quarterbacks have done that. Not even Tom Brady did that. Crazy. So let's pick up where we left off, okay? This is where we're going to get into the deep dive of last season to see, was it real? Was it some luck? Is it sustainable? What does history tell us about all this? This is where we're going to get into it. So start off with, this was a team that had just one loss all season by more than one score. And it was Daniel's first game in the NFL. It was week 1 on the road against Todd Bowles' led defense. See, we always give excuses for these rookie quarterbacks. I know Todd Bowles' defenses are tough, but it's not like they're impossible to beat. You know what I mean? I understand first game on the road. Okay. He says almost every QB would struggle in that situation. Yeah, but still, you're a professional athlete, you know. The Commanders lost just 4 games, and they were by 1, 7, 8, and 8. Are we really counting 8 as a one-score game? I know technically it is, but really, are we counting those? We're counting those as one-score games now? I guess so. They won 12 games, but aside from games against the Browns, Titans, Panthers, and Cardinals, all bad teams, the Commanders didn't win any games by more than 6 points. Their wins were 1, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, and 6. Commanders went 8-4 in one-score games and 4-1 in games decided by a field goal. That's usually not sustainable season to season. And they did that against what ended up being the number 1 easiest schedule of opponents in the NFL last year. Which, as we saw their schedule this year, it's a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult. Now, I'm not here to bashing on the Commanders or anything like that. We're just going through the stats. All right? We're just being real. What up, B-Mac? Something Tom Brady hasn't done. I'm shocked you would ever say such a thing. Well, I know. Well, it's a small list of things that Tom Brady never did. So we have to point that out every now and then. Jaden was fine in that game. Mike Evans beat the brakes off the corners that didn't even finish the season on the team. Mike tends to do that. Mike tends to make cornerbacks look silly. And when he's on one, when you're having a bad day and he's in the zone, you might as well just pack up. Don't even come out after halftime, man. Old Mike. But we entered 25, and the expectations are massively different based on how 24 concluded. And it was not just a 12-5 season. It was a trip all the way to the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback. Instead of being favored in 3 games on the look-ahead lines, as they were last summer, the Commanders are now favored in 12 games this fall. They have a 9.5 win total, up 3 from last season. Commanders were the first team to cash their over on their season win total last year. The corners were historically bad. Ooh. What does the secondary look like? Secondary is going to have to play a lot better. But hey, I expect Dan Quinn to handle that part. I like Dan Quinn as a coach. I do. Hell, I even like Cliff Kingsbury when he's an offensive coordinator. Not head coach, but when he's an offensive coordinator. And he's got a good mobile quarterback. I think he's a pretty good coach. Let's see where we're at. Before we dive into the 25 season, let's first look at and better understand how they made that run to the NFC Championship last year. Because as exciting as a run as that was for any football fan watching an underdog carve its way through the postseason, I guarantee you there were several things you didn't realize about the Commanders team that are extremely important to be aware of and usually to consider with regard to setting future expectations. The Commanders' aggressiveness on 4th down took over NFL discussion last year. The fact they parlayed that aggressiveness into a trip to the NFC Championship was something notable and helped endear the team's win-at-all-costs mentality. But here's what's crazy. What's lost in the discussion is the fact that the Commanders went for it on 4th down more often in 23, 22, and 21. They had 4th down attempts last year, only 23 of them. Previous years, 29, 25, and 32. Even if you want to isolate the manageable 4th down situations, such as 4th and 4 or less, the Commanders went for it more in 23, 22, and 21 than they did in 24. The difference in 24 was not in the desire to go for it. The difference was their ability to convert And that was primarily thanks to Jaden Daniels and help from Cliff Kingsbury. The Commanders converted their fourth downs 87% of the time, 20 of 23. We'll come back to this because I want to continue this fourth down talk down here. They didn't even come close to that rate in prior years. In 23, it was 55%. 22, it was 48%. In 21, it was 50%. But it wasn't just the previous Commanders office that didn't come close to the 87% conversion rate. Shockingly, no team in modern NFL history, this is big right here. No team in modern NFL history has come close to that rate. Looking back to at least 2000, no team with over 10 fourth down attempts in a season converted 87% or better, except the 24 Commanders. Expanding that sample size, look at the top performance team with over 15 fourth down attempts since 2000. You have the Commanders at 87%. The next closest team was the 2018 Saints. We had 16 attempts and completed 81%. The 2006 Patriots had 20 attempts and completed 80% of them. The Washington's efficiency on fourth down was the best we've seen in modern NFL history. Now, maybe that's something about Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels. Maybe that it is sustainable. Maybe not 87%, but maybe 80%, right? Maybe this team, fourth and short, maybe they got it figured out. But as we've seen in the NFL, time and time again, you got this new flashy young quarterback, right? Who takes over got his team all the way to the NFC Championship as a rookie, right? Saw this with CJ Stroud in his rookie year. He just lit it up too. NFL teams, these are professionals. They have the whole offseason. They're scheming. They're going to be looking at those fourth downs. They're going to know what you like to do in those fourth down situations. It's going to be a lot harder this year. Happens every single season. So you're going to have to improve. You're going to have to get creative and do some things a little bit differently. Because if you try to go and do the same stuff on fourth down you did last year, I guarantee you these defenses are going to be prepared for it. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. What are you guys saying? I'd rather drift a big boy than a speedster. Or draft a big boy than a speedster. That usually works out better than not. Ron was the fourth down king. Yeah. Patriots says just get me in field goal range. Yeah, when you got a kicker on the Cowboys that can make it from midfield, I bet you're thinking just let me kick it. Jaden is tush push 2.0. He's hard to stop with a QB option under 3 yards. This is true, but I think a QB option is a little bit easier to stop than that tush push they're running in Philly, unless you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they seem to have figured out how to stop that tush push. Okay, let's go back to this. I love that he does this. I love Warren Sharp puts this out up here. He gives you the argument for why you should bet under or over their season win total, 9.5. So here's the argument of why you should bet under 9.5 wins this season for the Washington Commanders. The 24 Commanders were the most successful fourth down team, not just the last season, but in recent history of the NFL. Washington converted 87% of their 23 fourth down attempts. The next closest team to this metric is the 2018 Saints, who converted 81% of their 16 attempts. Can they continue at this rate in 25? History would say no. Washington entered the 25 draft with just 5 picks to their name, and they ended up with a draft class with a projected value of 41% lower than the league average. Whew, I did not know that. That is interesting. I don't know how much you put into those rankings and stuff like that, though, with draft stuff. No one knows anything. No one knows. The Commanders lived and died by the run in 24, allowing 137.5 ground yards per game to opponents, 5th in the NFL, with a total defensive EPA of 9.5, which is 26th in the NFL. They posted a defensive success rate of part of that too is they had to go against Saquon Barkley twice, right? That guy put up numbers on everyone. They posted a defensive success rate of just 57.6% against the run, which is 27th in the NFL, largely due to their 29th ranked 1.93 rushing yards allowed before contact on average. But, you can make the argument Dan Quinn's going to figure that out. He's going to figure, it was, year one last year for him? He's going to figure it out. Here's why you should bet over 9.5 wins on the Washington Commanders if you're bullish. Adam Peters made the most of the trade market as well as free agency this offseason, adding wideout Deebo Samuel to the growing list of weapons at Jaden Daniels' disposal, while also trading for Laramie Tunsil to protect their young QB. Even after Daniels took the league by storm as a rookie, the Commanders are trying to get better around him. And don't be fooled. Laramie Tunsil stays healthy. Laramie Tunsil's top 5 left tackle in the league. Top 5. I was shocked that Houston got rid of him because Houston has a terrible offensive line. And he was the only good thing on that offensive line. But, D'Amico Ryans says, you know what? He's not a good locker room guy for us. We're going to move on. We're going to do things differently here. So he's a stud, though. He's a stud. Washington was able to improve as pass defense last season despite getting little from in-season addition Marshawn Lattimore. Lattimore should be healthy this season. Washington also added second-round pick Trey Amos to the mix at corner. So they addressed those cornerback issues in the draft. We'll see. That's a lot to ask from rookie, but we have seen, speaking of Christian Gonzalez earlier, we have seen rookie cornerbacks come in, and if they're good and they can play, it shows up on the field, translates real quick. Real quick. 3 times versus they played 3 times versus Barkley. I'm just meaning they played, I think these stats are from the regular season. That's why I said 2 times. I don't think they count the playoffs in those season stats. Let's see. When fourth down aggressiveness is mentioned, the first thought that pops in someone's mind is the Philadelphia Eagles and their tush push, but the Commanders were actually more efficient on short yard fourth downs than the Eagles were. Looking at teams on fourth down and short 1 to 2 yards, the Commanders were the best team in the NFL last year. I bet you most people wouldn't know that. They're better than the Eagles when it was 1 to 2 yards, 4th and 1 or 2. And again, not just in last year, it was in modern NFL history. The Commanders converted when it was 4th and 2 or less. They converted 88% of the time. Only one other team did that. That was the 2017 Eagles. I hate that team. Bill, just put Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl. We would have won that game. But no, Bill was stubborn. I love Bill. The Jaguars in 2007 is on that list. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Amos looks the part, but we will see. What did I say? Like I said, touch push 2.0, less than 3 yards. Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. Spot on. God, look at all these beautiful charts, man. Jaden Daniels completion percentage by depth and early downs. Oh, man. Oh, look at that. Look at these beautiful charts. They got heat maps on here. They got passing heat maps. Where else are you going to find passing heat maps? Oh, like I said, we don't get into all that. Encourage you to go check out this book. Moving on, though, the Commanders were even better than the Eagles at their tush push. What's truly most incredible is the Commanders had 15 run plays on fourth down and were able to convert 13 of those runs into first downs without using a single QB sneak. Not once. QB sneaks, including tush pushers, are the NFL's most efficient conversion conception on fourth down and short. Last year, we saw 70 QB sneaks on 4th and 1. 90% were converted into first downs. This Patriot still says under 9.5. Let's see. The next closest conversion rate was 70% inside the red zones. Looking at the last 3 years, we saw 233 QB sneaks on fourth down with 1 or 2 yards to go. A total of 82.4% were converted into first downs. Damn. And yet the Commanders converted 13 of 15 without doing one single QB sneak. Yeah, dude, I'd be so nervous if I was a Commanders fan and they decided to do a QB sneak with Jaden Daniels. I feel that guy would get broken. I'd say, nope, go put the running back in there to do it. Put in the backup quarterback. Who is the backup quarterback for the Commanders? Why am I drawing a blank on that? I should know this. I typically know this. Where are they at? Marcus Mariota. That's right. Get Marcus Mariota out there. Have him do the QB sneaks. Don't let Jaden Daniel do it. Sam Hartman's on the team. I forgot about that. Agree with me all the way. I like that. I like when you guys agree with me. Makes me feel smart. Makes me feel like I know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Aside from 3 Daniel scrambles, the rest of the runs were various concepts, including inside zone, power do, and outside zone, with a couple of trick plays sprinkled in. In addition, the Commanders converted 7 of 8 fourth down passes. Where does 88% rank in modern NFL history? The best in the NFL since 2007. Among teams with at least 7 fourth down pass attempts, only 2 teams were better than the Commanders last year. The Colts in 2002 and the Cardinals in 2007. Wow. The QBs of those 2 teams, Hall of Famer Peyton Manning and Kurt Warner. Makes sense now. The Commanders gained 54.55 total EPA on their 23 fourth down plays. That's the most in modern NFL history. They were a full 10 point EPA more than the next closest team. Wow. So we get it. They were good. All right. They were good at fourth down last year. They were good in short yard situation. We get it. Is that sustainable? We're going to find out. The efficiency a rookie QB was able to deliver on fourth down, both in the air and on the ground, without a single QB sneak was one of the most pleasant surprises of the 24 season. No, the Commanders didn't have success because they just went for it more often. They made the NFC Championship in large part because they were so efficient when they attempted fourth downs. They were the most efficient team in modern NFL history on fourth down. They were more efficient than tush push when running the ball, and they were only behind 2 Hall of Fame QBs when passing the ball. And did it all with Jaden Daniels, a rookie QB. Rookie QBs tend to make a lot of progress from year 1 to year 2, but it's hard to imagine Commanders will be able to replicate that kind of fourth down success. I'm curious with Jaden Daniels. We see the sophomore slump. I'm curious. That's one of the, it's probably in my top 10 curious things about the 25 NFL season. How will Jaden Daniels do? Because he had probably the best. Isn't it crazy? CJ Stroud came out and put up the best season we've seen from a rookie quarterback, probably in NFL history, and then Jaden Daniels comes out the following season and one-ups him. Or at least ties him. Depends on how you want to break down the stats. Cowboys under 7.5 alt. Oh, I love fandom. The Commanders don't have that repeatable one play they execute better than anyone, like the Eagles and their tush push. Some want to ban the tush push, but Daniels was even more reliable on fourth down than the tush push. Should we ban Jaden Daniels? Now you're just getting silly. Immediate impact of the draft class. I usually skip over these. I think rookies, for the most part, they can help, but nobody knows. Especially if you get an offensive lineman. It takes an offensive lineman 3 years until they rounded to form. Even Joe Alt, a good season last year, but I mean, Joe Alt's going to be way better in season 3 and 4 than he was in season 1. Let's see. What were they saying about Trey Amos, though? Let's see. Since they need secondary help, we'll read what they're saying about Trey Amos. Hope I'm saying that name right. Amos has the ideal ball hawk traits to fit the Dan Quinn defense. Based on the route-adjusted data, Amos generated a ball hawk rate of 75% above expected over the last 2 seasons at Ole Miss and Alabama. Amos will likely be given a chance to start opposite Marshawn Lattimore as an outside cornerback with Mike Sainristil shifting back to nickel, where he began last year and played aggressively in college. There's a little competition for Amos, so he probably just needs to look competent at training camp to earn the job. Well, there you go. Preparation is what leads to success. The guy works like I've never seen. I like to see that. I like to see those, especially young guys, come in and work hard. Any position, but especially at quarterback. But now the spotlight's on you. right? No one expected anything from the Commanders last year. Now the spotlight's on you. What can you do? What can you do? Let's see. More stats and trends and tables here. Oh, I love it. I'm a data nerd. All these tables and metrics. Look at, they got running back rushing efficiency by direction. They were not good up the middle, but they were really good going behind their right guard. Look at that. It's probably going to change this year now that they have a good left tackle. Probably going to see his left tackle numbers go up. Fantasy advice for you fantasy football fans. After closing his rookie season as the QB6 in points per game. Oh, there was something on here. I think I missed it. Maybe we haven't got to it yet. Yeah, I went over it. They've got Jaden Daniels ranked as the 7th best QB. I don't know how I feel about that. He's good, but it's been one season. I hate when we just start crowning these guys, you know? Now, I know there's an easy argument to make why he's 7th in the league. But it just feels a little too high for me. We've had one season, it's like pump the brakes a little bit. But, hell, if he comes out and has a season like he did last year, you can make the argument for putting him in the top 5. But we'll see. Dan Quinn, 13th best head coach. I don't know, man. It might be. I think he might crack the top 10 after this season. We'll see. I'm biased. I like Dan Quinn. Okay, where were we at? Oh, yeah, fantasy football. Let's see. Daniels ended up with a sensational rookie season, completing 69% AO of his passes for 7.4 yards per attempt, threw for 3,568 yards with 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. On the ground, Daniels added 891 yards and 5 touchdowns. I wonder what his season stats are going to be, or his over-unders are going to be this year. Where do you think they're going to put his passing yards this year? 3,700, probably. I feel like everyone's at like 4,000 or more. It's crazy. Unless you're Anthony Richardson or something. Washington will face more challenging defense, but Daniels has a blend of rushing and passing upside. I mean, yeah, Jay Daniels is going to be a fantasy football stud. Washington needs to establish a playmaker opposite Terry McLaurin. Well, first of all, they need to get Scary Terry in camp. That's what they need to do. I wonder what you think about this. This is Ray. It's not a good sign. We've seen time and time again, it's not a good sign if a guy holds out all camp and then comes back at the end of August. Last year, I thought it was interesting. Micah Parsons this year was talking. 2 things he says why he's at camp. 1, he signed his contract. He's going to honor it. And he's there mainly to be D-Law's gone, and it's his turn to step up and be the leader on defense. He can't be the leader if he's not there with his teammates. I like that. But 2, which I thought was interesting, he threw in there, he goes, yeah, I talked to CD about last year, and CD said, because remember, CD Lamb held out, ended up getting his contract, but he held out and came back at the end of August. And CD Lamb, even as good as he is, said it was really difficult to start the season after missing camp. So he said he took that advice and was like, I'm going to be here because I don't want to try to come in without any reps or anything like that. It's interesting. But if Scary Terry ends up sitting out camp, hell, we saw last year too. What's his name? Brandon Ayuk. Now, we never wish for anyone to get injured or anything like that, of course. But he sat out, and then week 7 snaps his ACL, right? It's not a good. I'm hoping they figure something out and they get Scary Terry into camp, because if he sits out and then ends up coming back at the big, into August without having any training, that's not going to be great. I agree it's bad with Terry. Everyone talks like it's not a big deal. It's huge. It is huge. It is huge. Especially, I mean, he's got one season with Jaden Daniels, man. That's only one season. You need to get in there and get some reps in, get some chemistry going. Keep that fire going you had last year. He's a hell of a wide receiver, man. Hell of a wide receiver. Ertz and a young guy, Ben Sinnott, who didn't have a great rookie year, but they expect a lot from him. Terry and Debo should be fun. It could be fun. Could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot of fun. So we'll see. That's your fantasy football stuff there. Who are your guys' running backs? Oh yeah, Brian Robinson Jr. Oh, and you got Austin Eckler backing him up. Austin Eckler's still doing it out there. I forgot he went to Commanders last year. That's funny. I like Brian Robinson Jr. though. Defensive outlook. Washington struggled to stop the run, 24, allowing 4.9 yards per carry to running backs. Jonathan Allen is gone from 24 defensive line, and the Commanders added Javon Kinlaw on a big deal in free agency. Darren Payne is back after a lackluster 24 in which he was not productive against the run, as he has been in the past. The Commanders will hope for more from the 24 second-round pick, Jerzon Newton, who had – I'm terrible at pronouncing names, by the way. I can pronounce drug names. I don't know why I can read drug names really well. Probably why I have a pharmacy degree. But people's names, I'm terrible at it. Let's see. Dante Fowler Jr. Oh, my favorite guy on the Commanders, and probably one of my favorite guys in the league, Bobby Wagner. I love Bobby Wagner. I love it. He's there leading that defense. That guy is quietly always the best linebacker in the league. Now, early on in his career, yeah, there was a lot of hype, but next thing you know, he is always no one talks about him, but then you look and he like leads the league in tackles, you know? He's just a football guy. Love Bobby Wagner. This Kinlaw deal is a head scratcher, one of those situations where you hope DQ knows more than you do. Yeah. It's always scary when you pay your guys, when you go out and pay for a free agent because you're overpaying because you want the guy. The Eagles actually came out and talked about, and this is smart, and obviously it's always ideal to be able to draft and develop players, and it's easier said than done. But he says they do so well at drafting. Their whole goal is to draft and extend early. We're going to draft our guys, we're going to home grow them, and then we're going to give them deals early, and we're going to pay them well, which is smart because all that money, when you extend them early, kicks in down the road. And by then, we've seen the salary cap goes up and up and up. So if you can get a homegrown guy, he's happy. He's getting paid. You've got a productive player that's been in your system all those years. And then it's not, it might at the time when you sign the deal, it might look like it's scary for a salary cap. But 2 years down the road, it's not that scary for a salary cap because the salary cap keeps going up, 10 to 18% every single year. Von Miller, though. Yeah, Von Miller is not in this because this was published before the Von Miller deal came out. But yeah, Von Miller too. If you just keep that guy healthy, we'll see. Let's see. They're going to need help at secondary, as we talked about. Oh, geez, I didn't even see the time. We got to wrap this thing up here. Let's rush through this last little bit. What's this say? Commanders have the 19th strength of schedule, toughest strength of schedule. You guys got me talking football, and I lose track of time. I love it. I love it. Let's see. This should be. Oh God, dude, how long does this go about the Commanders? Let me skim through. Skim through this. Skim through them. It's vital for the Commanders to get out to a solid start last season to make it life easier on Jane Daniels late in games and make things less predictable from a play calling perspective. The Commanders led after the first quarter by 42 points across their 17 games last year. That was fourth best by margin in the NFL. They led by 92 points at halftime, which is also the fourth best by margin. They led by 104 points through the fourth quarter, which is sixth best. They jumped out to the lead and then progressively grew it. And then there was Daniels to ice the game in the fourth quarter. Through his brilliance and Kingsbury's play calling, Daniels was plus 0.38 EPA per attempt in the fourth quarter, ranked number 2 amongst all QBs. Damn, okay. I think this should be it. Yeah, this is last page here. Redskins. I've been saying Redskins. Are you guys hearing it wrong? If I were the Redskins front office in the offseason during 25 season, if the offseason during the 25 season anywhere close to success 24, I'd be giving a strong raise to Kingsbury to keep him in town. There's no salary cap on coaching, so overpay if you must. If he truly has a unique, fruitful relationship with Daniels, Commanders are about to embark on a 2025 season that features number 3 worst net rest edge of any team. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Washington plays 5 teams who have over a week to prepare for them, the second highest total of any team. They play 4 games where they will be on less rest than their opponent and third highest total of any team. We talked about it at the beginning. This scheduling issue would have mattered more in the past, but the 2011 CBA introduced some mandatory days off for teams on bye weeks, allowing players to fall out of their routine and become distracted. Data has clearly shown a drop-off in production post-bye of late. Aside from those 3 games, Washington plays just 1 game at a rest disadvantage. Washington also plays 2 short week road games, week 2 against Green Bay, week 7 against Dallas. Overall, the strength of opponents' perspective, Washington is middle of the pack, but most of their tough games are on the road. Washington plays 9 games against teams expected to win 8.4 games or more this year. 6 of those 9 games are on the road. Ugh, that's not good. Green Bay, Chargers, Kansas City, Miami, Minnesota, Philadelphia. While the arrow is certainly pointing up, the NFL schedule makers did the Commanders very, very few favors. One lone exception is hosting Dallas on Christmas Day with a plus 1 day rest edge, followed by a 3-day rest edge against the Eagles in Week 18. We talked about that. The Commanders addressed issues in the offseason by getting free agents. The Commanders broke free from decades of dysfunction with clean sweep of leadership, bold offseason moves, and emergence of Jaden Daniels as a uniquely poised and productive quarterback. Their historic fourth down efficiency, aggressive mindset, and soft schedule helped fuel the improbable NFC Championship run, but replacing that level of precision, especially in high-leverage situations, will be a monumental mistake. In 25, with tougher matchups, worse rest edges, and natural regression likely in close games, Washington must lean on real player growth and improved defensive consistency and the continuity of Daniels-Kingsbury connection. The foundation is strong. The future is brighter than it's been in decades, but this time the Commanders, or the Redskins, must prove they are built to sustain success, not just spark it. That is beautiful. Beautiful way to say that. I said Redskins. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Redskins. Spell it with me, Will. I was about to jump into cheerleader form there. No, we're not going to do it. Not going to do it. There you have it, folks. That is your Washington Redskins 2025 preview. That's good stuff right there. A lot of good stuff. But thanks for hanging out today. This has been fun. Glad to have you here with some new faces, especially This is the Ray. We'll be back tomorrow, as always, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm here. I'm awake. Always on time. Got my coffee. I don't know who we're going to cover tomorrow. Like always, it's just random. Whatever pops into my brain, and I'm like, oh, let's do that. What up, AB? Says bring back the skins. That's right. I don't have time to raid Patriot. I went longer than I thought. I was going to raid. Don't have time to raid. My bad. I got to wrap up here and get ready to go to work. So that was my bad. You guys got me talking football. I love talking football. I gave up my tooth for football. All right. Anyways, you guys have a good rest of your Thursday. I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But until then, good luck, good gambling, and game on.